be a function or not to be a function? That is the question they are asking us in this section. So, let me give you the general idea. If they're messing with the y, then you need to check it. Okay? You're really focusing on the y. Now, if the y is by itself and it's just a 1y to the first power, then it's going to be fine. Okay, so this one right here is a function. Yes. This is also a 1y to the first power, and this is going to be a function. Now, when you see a y to an even power, okay, so y squared, y to the fourth, y to the sixth, or to the eighth, this is not going to be a function. Okay, and I'm going to give you an explanation in a minute. If you see a y to the first power, this one is fine, so yes, this one is going to be a function. And the other one you have to worry about, besides an even power on a y, is this one, where you have no y at all. Okay, this is actually y to the power of 0, and 0 is an even number. So this one is not going to be a function. Let me explain a little further. You probably learned the vertical line test. So if you have a graph and you can draw a vertical line and you can hit that graph more than once, it's not a function. And what you have happening here is you have the same x value with two different y values. So let's say that this point here is 3, 1, and this point may be like 3, 5. See how you have the same x value with different y values? That is not going to be a function. Now, for this problem right here, for this equation, you can try forever to plug in two different y's and get the same x, and it's just not going to work. Okay, so there's really nothing to show here. Same thing with this one. If it's a function, you can plug in forever and you'll never get there. Now let me show you why this one is not a function. If I make a t-table and I plug in some numbers for y, first I'm going to plug in an 8, then I'm going to plug in a -8. Now watch what happens. X squared plus y squared equals 64. I'm going to plug in an 8. So x squared plus 64 equals 64. Subtract that 64 from both sides of the equal sign, and you will find out that x squared equals 0. Okay, so x is 0. Now, let's plug in. We plugged in the 8. We find that x is 0. Let's plug in a -8 for y. I have x squared plus y squared equals 64. I'm going to plug in a -8. So x squared plus negative times negative is a positive 64. And then you see what's going to happen. I will subtract 64 from both sides. And x squared will equal 0, and x will be 0. So you see now that I have the same x value with two different y values. All right, and you're going to find that when your y is to an even power. Now what about this one? Well, if I do a t-table here, it says that no matter what my x is, y is always 7. X is 1, y is 7. X is 2, y is 7. X is 3, y is 7. Okay, and on and on and on. Do I see the same x with two different y's? No. I see the same y with different x's. That's fine. Okay, this one is actually a horizontal line which looks like this. And of course, you're not going to find a vertical line that would hit that more than once. Now, this one is not a function. Can I find different values of y for the same x? I can. X is always 9, right? So 9 and 0, 9 and 1, well, there's 2 right there. 9 and 5, right? And so on. So now I have the same value of x with different values of y. Now, if you want to graph this, what you're going to find out is this is a vertical line. Okay, so let me come and put it over here. If I want to go and graph that, I'm going to find out that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll have a point at 9, 0. I'll have a point at 9, 1. I'll have a point at 9, 5. Okay, so the graph of that is actually a vertical line. And will this pass the vertical line test? It won't if I'm drawing a vertical line right on top of it, right? Because it's going to hit more than one place. Let me show you one more example, and let me ask you, what about this one? What about x squared plus y to the third equals 7? Is this a function or not a function? And the answer is yes, this is a function. Okay, and if you want to go put this into a graphing calculator or any kind of graphing program, you can see what the graph looks like. But in general, they're not taking your y to an even power. If it's to an odd power, it's okay, right? If you try to plug in an 8 and a -8 or something like that, they will be different. So you won't get the same x for two different y's.